Hello and a really warm welcome to today's masterclass, where we're going to be talking about everything about free stuff. I'm Rachel Smith, the business grower, and I work with female entrepreneurs who are ready to generate consistent months of income in their business. And in particular, I work with women who are looking to generate 5k a month and beyond in their business. So today we're going to talk about something that was actually quite inspired by a recent question that I was asked about how much free stuff should we give away. And it honestly can feel as if you're just giving it all away for free, doesn't it? It can just feel as if, well, why would somebody pay for this because they're going to get it for free? And then you look around the internet and everybody's doing the same thing. And there is, I really believe that there's a balance that you can draw where you can give away free stuff but generate leads that turn into paying clients from it as well. So let's just kind of step away from like how much stuff to give away for free. So let's put it into context first about the reasons why we would even do this. Because hi Lisa, lovely to see you here. I'll tell you a funny story. My husband doesn't work in the online world and he thinks this part of our business is utterly nuts. He cannot believe that we do this. So he works in medical research and he says, God, it'd be like us giving out free hips. I love that idea that you just walk down, to your local supermarket and there's his company giving out free hip replacements. And he's like, why would people do that? And it is quite unique, I think, to this world that we're in, this online world, but it's been around for ages. And to be honest, I think it's really good, isn't it? It's really good that you can actually try people out before you decide to invest in them. And otherwise, how are you going to know who is the right person for you? Because there is so much to choose from, isn't there? And that's exactly the same for your clients. So your clients are going to be able to come in, and it's not just about trying you out, is it? It's about establishing a relationship with you. And we'll talk a little bit more about at what level you need to go to before they tip from somebody who's like a warm lead to actually a paying client. So Lisa's put mine too. He said, if I'm not getting paid, what's the point? It can, and you can kind of see that they've got a point here, can't you? And I've often sat here and thought there must be another way. There must be another way. So if anybody's got any ideas about another way, let me know. I'm always open to suggestions. So let's kind of peel it back to why we use this strategy anyhow, and why other people who are not in our online world think we're nuts and that we've kind of got it wrong. So having something that's free, and we'll talk about what that free thing might be in a little while, but having something that's free allows you to go out into the world and demonstrate who you are and what you do and how you do it. That's essentially what it is. So this is about you saying, so let's take me for an example. There are a lot of business coaches out there, but some business coaches specialize in PR. Some business coaches specialize in speaking gigs. There's all sorts of different versions of business coaches. And certainly when I've looked to invest with somebody, it's a long-term investment that I have with that person before I even, and the investment is time. So even before I go into any paid agreement, I'm in that person's world. I'm part of their free Facebook group. I've downloaded some element of free content. I'm watching them and reading their social media blogs, the social media posts, their blogs. I'm practically an online stalker, and it really allows me to know if that person is right for me. And that's what we're doing, isn't it? We're allowing somebody to come into our world, and it's not just about for you to demonstrate who you are. It's also allowing your audience to self-select you, to kind of say, well, do you know what? I might be really interested in what it is that you do and the way that you do it. And, they're on the kind of opposite side of what I've just described, where they download something for free, or they get some free content of yours and they stay in your world for a little while, so that they can decide if they are ready to come and work with you. So actually, this strategy is really smart. It allows you to do what you love to do. It allows your potential audience, your potential clients to come and find you and build that relationship. And that just means that actually when you come to a point where you are selling something to somebody, it's actually quite easy for them to say yes or no. And I'm going to give you an example of this. So, and this is how fast it can happen as well. So a number of years ago, I was following somebody online and I really liked what they did, but she didn't completely resonate with me. And she, in some of her free content, she mentioned who her business coach was. And I was like, right, actually, let's go and check that person out. And this person puts out so much content, like every day puts out so much content, that within 7 days of me like finding this person, to actually the next time that they will put something out to buy, I could pretty much tell you, it wouldn't have mattered what they had put out as an offer. I knew that I was going to buy from them. So from a business owner's perspective, when you've done your job well with this free stuff, when you've nurtured your audience well, actually it means that selling is really, really simple. And that's what we want, isn't it? We don't want to like be hustling. We don't want to be kind of stepping into a sales, I'm just thinking like the old-fashioned kind of I can't speak today, but sleazy sales techniques. You know, we want sales and business and growth to be as graceful as possible, and that's what your free content allows you to do. So let me know if this is resonating with you. Let me know if you're getting clarity yourself about why we use this. And as I said, it's about your audience putting their hand up and saying, actually, I want some help and support with this area of my life or my business, and I'm interested in what happens. So obviously, the whole point of your free stuff and how much free stuff you give away is tied in with a much bigger strategy. We're not just going out there as wallies giving free stuff away. It has to be tied in with an overall strategy, and that strategy is obviously your next promotion, the next thing that you want to sell. And behind the whole like having free stuff, there's a whole strategy about nurturing your audience through to the point of purchasing, and that's a whole different masterclass which we're not going to touch on today. But if you've got any questions about that after this replay, just ask me. I'll be really happy to respond to you. Now, at what point does somebody buy from you? And this is going to help you understand how much free stuff to give away. Oh, Claire says, it's nice to see you have free resources, but I'm not convinced they are enough. So I'm looking to overhaul my freebies. Well, this might help you actually, Claire. Yeah, Lisa resonates. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so how much free stuff to give away? This is the kind of the balance, isn't it? This is the thing that there's so many different opinions about. There's so many different people doing different things. And for me, it's about understanding what makes somebody buy from you. You know, what is that one thing that makes somebody actually buy from you? And that one thing is trust. So if you can think about that, you can think about how you want to show up in the world, how you can demonstrate that you have what somebody wants and needs, and that you can demonstrate that that person can trust you. That's what's going to make the sales really, really easy for you. Now, I'm sure that we have all been on those webinars where you have been promised something and it sounds really juicy. You're like, right, I'm totally up for that. And actually you get on the webinar that's 60 minutes long and 45 minutes of it is all about the amazing person who you're listening to. You get a little bit of content and then you get a great big massive sales thing. So we've all been on those webinars. So for me personally, that is too little. And I think that you've got to, with your freebie, it's about thinking about what is it that your audience wants. So it's always about putting your soulmate client at the heart of whatever you create. And it's thinking about coming from a place of service. I know that we can all get really hooked on, oh, I'm doing this freebie and it's got to generate me sales. And I think it's about flipping that so that actually you come from a point of service. Yes, your freebie is attached to a much bigger strategy, but if we're just stripping it all out and looking at that freebie, it's about thinking about how can you be of absolute service to that client. And what can I do? What can I create? What can I deliver that builds trust? That they know that they can trust me to help me achieve what it is that I want help and support with. So there's all sorts of different types of freebies. There are masterclasses, webinars, challenges, boot camps. There's reports, cheat sheets, ebooks, Facebook groups, workbooks, printables. There is so much. And I would say, absolutely, what I would do is have a look at your forward plan. So always have a look at your forward plan. You know, what is it that you will be promoting next? So as a good coach, and we're always going to get you to look at have the end in mind. So what is it that you are looking to move your audience to? What do you want people to put their hand up to? And then it's about thinking about an element of that you can deliver to your audience. And I think in terms of how much you deliver, it's about not too little and not too much. So that's why I always say come from a point of service. Always come from a point of service. If you are saying, let's say you're going to run a webinar, and it's going to be the 3 steps to generating sales organically. And that's what you want to deliver. And now some people would argue that you would talk about all of the content, but you just wouldn't give them the how. Now, I know from being on the receiving end of that, when I'm sat there listening to, let's say a webinar where I'm given a lot of information, but I'm giving nothing that I can think about, implement or use, I'm not going to buy from that person, because for me, they don't feel as if they're being authentic, they're not being trustworthy, and I can't see if they've got the solution for me. So when I create my freebies, it's definitely about giving a little bit of the how. Not everything. And I think it would be highly impossible for us to give all of our things away. But you want to have an element that you're not delivering. Otherwise, why would somebody actually come and work with you? So just think about that when you're creating your freebies. How much can you give away that demonstrates you as the expert and demonstrates trust, so that you can then move people into thinking, oh my God, this person has exactly what I need. So Lisa said, my problem is converting them freebie to sale. Okay, so again, Lisa, that'd be really interesting to see what are the techniques that you've used for that. Have you just got an email sequence behind that? Is it that you're sending them to like a challenge or a webinar or something that's active where you're actually selling as part of that? Yeah, so Lisa says it totally turns me off, shows my energy as if you're scamming or bluffing. Yeah, definitely. I think when you can be your ideal client, your own ideal client, you can really think about, if I was going to sit here for 60 minutes and listen to content, what is it that I want? They want to be inspired, they want to be excited, they want to see the possibility that they can achieve this themselves, and they want some element of expertise. They would like, to receive a little bit of that. And what I always like to do, which I think is only fair, is that whenever you're delivering something that's live, like a webinar, I think it's only fair to let people know that you will be making an offer as part of the webinar. I mean, we all know this, but let's just talk about it. First of all, you're not running a charity here, you're running a business. That the only way that you can carry on running your business is by generating profit. And actually, it's not even about the profit for most of us, it's about the positive impact that you have on your audience. And the more people that come and work with you, the bigger that impact is, the bigger opportunity you have of working with people and helping and supporting them in the way that you want to. So in essence, is in terms of how much free stuff to give away, I'd say deliver what you promise. That's an absolute must. We're talking about trust, aren't we? If you cannot deliver what you promise, that people are just not going to resonate with you. That level of trust has gone, and so has your opportunity to actually transfer them from a warm lead to a paying client. There's a balance between not giving very much away to giving too much away. And if you come from a place of service, if you think about, be really careful, think carefully and clearly about what it is that you want that experience to be like for your audience coming and having that experience. What do you want them to walk away with? And being really clear about that, and always coming from a point of service. And that's what your audience will feel. They will feel that, and they'll resonate with that, and they'll be like, oh my God, I can see that this person is going to help me, whether it's now or in the future. Always link your freebie to your intended outcome, and your intended outcome are two things. And it's either you're looking to grow your audience, so maybe you're in a period of time in your business where you're not launching, it's the period of time beforehand where you are just growing your audience, you're growing, increasing your visibility, you're increasing your reach, you're allowing more people to get to know who you are and what you do. And the second element within any business is launching. So be really clear about what your freebie is required for, because they're probably two quite different things. And ensure that you have a level of openness within your freebie, that you demonstrate your expertise, and it allows trust to be created between you and them. So have you got any questions? Has that clarified for you about how much stuff you need to give away? And I think certainly it's very tempting when you see somebody else having like a really successful launch using a freebie. It's really tempting to do something similar, but you always have to act from a place that is in alignment with you. And you may be comparing yourself to somebody who's like a little bit further ahead of you. And, generally people, let's say, like, I'm not going to say that this is true because I haven't experienced any of her content, but let's say Amy Porterfield, perhaps she just needs to run like one webinar, she gives a little bit and she can sell to thousands, but she spent years crafting her message and creating a business and really getting it to that position. And it's recognizing where you are and what you want to achieve when you actually pull your freebie together. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with reviewing your freebies if that's what you need to do. But hopefully what I've shared today has helped you clarify about how much free stuff to give away. And yeah, if you've had an example where you're just like, oh my God, that was awful, and I'm never going to buy from you, I always think that that's a really good example of how you will never turn up in your business. So if you've got any questions about that, please let me know. If that's clarified things for you, brilliant. If you're watching the replay back and you've got questions, you can obviously ask me as well. I will come back to you. I mean, I do these masterclasses every week and they're free. There's very infrequently that there's not really a call to action on this. This is just something that I do for my audience and people love it. People like email me and go, I really enjoyed that masterclass. It's really helpful. I love that you don't always sell on it. If I'm in a launch mode, I probably would sell in it, but right now I'm not launching. Obviously that's coming because, I run a business, so of course I'm going to launch. So any questions? If not, you can go and review your freebies. Go and have a look at them. See if you have put your soulmate client at the heart of it. Really question how much trust have you built into that? How much a kind of connection, openness, expertise have you put together that really allows somebody to come in and go, oh my God, you're for me, that's amazing. And just look at how your freebies have been put together. And if there's too much stuff that you've just given everything away, and that's maybe one of the reasons why people aren't buying from you, it's maybe time to pull that back and actually review it. Okay, so good luck with your freebies. This was a great question, and yeah, let's keep growing our awesome businesses. See you all again soon.